Hello friends, today we'll discuss the 9th and 10th chapters of economic survey that is related to the performance of industry and services sector. So the most easiest chapters of economic survey is this 9th and 10th chapters. So you no need to pay a lot of attention. Apart from remembering some schemes and some factual information, I think remaining thing is just have a glance. Only thing you need to remember is if at all any schemes or programs mentioned in it, just remember it, and otherwise just remember some factual information related to the exports, imports and the highly performing sectors and their level of attraction of foreign direct investments. So those aspects are important. Okay. So but it is not that important when you compare it to the other sectors. Mostly preliminary questions you may get it from this chapter. Okay. So industry, steady recovery. So growth and share of the industrial components. So you are all aware in the secondary sector, these are the components: mining and quarrying, manufacturing, electricity, gas, water, supply and other utility services, and construction. This is the level of growth in terms of percentage growth. It's not their contribution. So construction is growing at 11.5 in the financial year 23 first half, second half estimated at 7.3. So all the sectors growing at high in the first quarter. Manufacturing it was 0.1, but we are estimating here it is 3.0. But on overall GVA we are expecting 9.0 in the first half, second is 4.7 because of the base effect. Double digit credit growth in industry driven by MSMEs. Yeah, double digit growth. This graph I have already shown it to you. So there is a double digit credit growth in industry driven by MSMEs. That means the MSMEs are performing better. They are taking lot of credit from the banks. Yeah. Sector wise FDI equity inflows in 2022-23 during April-September. This is important. So computer, software and hardware is a sector which attracts more FDI equity inflows. So actually government is trying a lot to attract the FDIs in the secondary sector, but most of the FDI is still coming in the computer, software and hardware. So that is 34%, services 22%. Okay. Just have an idea. Okay, top sectors. FDI policy reforms to bolster investment. So recently government of India, okay, since 1991 we are continuing these reforms, but the present government, they have come up with much more reforms to attract more and more FDIs into India. So government has implemented several radical and transformative FDI reforms across the sectors such as defense, pension, e-commerce activities. In the financial year 20, 100% FDI under automatic route permitted for the sale of coal and coal mining activities, including associated processing infrastructure. That is one thing. Second, 26% of FDI under the government route has been permitted for uploading, streaming of news and current affairs. This is important. Okay, 26% here. This is second. Okay. Next, 100% FDI has been permitted in intermediaries, not in insurance, in intermediaries or insurance intermediaries, including insurance brokers, reinsurance brokers, insurance consultants, corporate agents, third party administrators, surveyors and loss assessors. That is 100%. Okay. Next, now one important thing is, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of India announced an FDI policy according to which an entity of a country which shares land border with India or where the beneficial owner of investment into India is situated or is a citizen of any such country can invest only under the government route. They cannot come in automatic route, because sometimes you can get huge inflow of FDIs. So that is having its own security and other implications. So that is why we have come up with this. That is why we have come up with this. That means the countries who are sharing the land border with India, they have to come only with the approval of the government. And one more thing, though this is an old decision, to simplify the approval process of foreign investment and to promote the ease of doing business, there was a board called Foreign Investment Promotion Board. Actually, this board is to promote the foreign investment, but this board has becoming a hurdle in attracting the foreign investment. So simply we have abolished it. Now there is no FIPB. There is no FIPB. Under the new regime, the process for granting FDI approval has been simplified, and the respected, that means the concerned ministries and departments will take care, and DPIIT is the nodal department for attracting the foreign direct investment. This is the nodal, and concerned ministries and departments will take care about the proposals, and they will give the necessary approvals. And one more thing, a revamped portal called FIF, Foreign Investment Facilitation Portal, important. A revamped portal called Foreign Investment Facilitation Portal has been launched as an online single point interface of the Government of India for investor to facilitate the foreign direct investment. Okay, just remember this. FIPB abolished, FIF, and a change in FDI policy related to the countries which are sharing the land border with India. MSME's rise in exports, you can see in financial year 23, almost more than 40%, around 45% of share is there in total exports, okay, for MSMEs. So MSME shares are 45, almost 45% in the total exports. Take the case of MSME share in overall GVA and manufacturing GVA. In overall GVA, their share is something around some 27, 28. But in manufacturing GVA, it is something like, let it be 33 to 35%. So 33 to 35% in manufacturing GVA and 45% in share in exports contributed by MSMEs. Some programs related to, some programs related to MSMEs, very, very important. When you are writing, just focus on these schemes. First one, Samadhan portal set up under the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act to monitor the outstanding dues. This is important to the MSME sector, is helping in resolving their cash flow difficulties. So one of the major problem with the MSMEs is, MSMEs, they will supply the material to the big industries. So when they supply material to the big industries, they don't pay the money immediately. They will give some trade receivables. That means instead of giving the money, they will give an assurance that I will pay you the money within, let it be 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. So that you call it as trade receivable. So that receivable they will give. Now MSMEs are small units, they need a working capital. So that is why what they can do with this trade receivable, someone has to be there who will accept this trade receivable and who will pay the money to the MSMEs, and later the third party can collect the money from that big corporate. This is actually the mechanism, but unfortunately lack of the formalization or streamlining of this process, MSMEs are still facing the problem. So one of the major problem to the MSMEs is this cash flow problem. So there are many issues that are there, like technology problem, competition from big industries, competition from foreigners, availability of let it be some of the infrastructure facilities like quality of power, and also human resources, marketing abilities. All of these are the problem. But one important major problem is the cash flow. So we need to resolve. So to monitor the outstanding dues that are there to the MSMEs by some big companies will be done in Samadhan portal, so that they can pass necessary instructions. And here if you see, the government has already instructed all the public sector enterprises and all the companies with a turnover of 2000 crore or more to get themselves onboarded to the trade receivable discounting system, that is TRES platform. So government has created this TRES platform. In an earlier example I said, no, the third party, that is this TRES. So what it will do, the trades will accept the trade receivable given by the big company and they will settle the amount of money to the MSMEs immediately. Later they can collect the money from the big corporates. Now government has clearly mentioned like all the public sector undertakings and the companies whose turnover, they must register with the trade. If you register with the trade, then it will be easy for the MSMEs to supply the material to you so that they will get the money easily. If you don't register, no, MSMEs, they can't sell because there is a shortage of working capital. They have to wait for another 90 days or 100 days, we don't know. So this is one important decision taken by the government. Now Champions is a single window grievance redressal portal for MSMEs launched by the Ministry of MSME. Champions, okay, just remember. Next, raising and accelerating MSME performance scheme, ramp scheme. The World Bank supported scheme aims at strengthening the institution and governance at the center and state, improving the center-state linkages and partnerships and improving access of MSMEs to market, credit and technology upgradation and addressing the issues of delayed payments. So, to address these things, this ramp will be helpful. Okay, it strengthens the both institutional mechanism of union government and state government to solve the problems of the MSMEs and to improve the access of MSMEs to the market, credit, technology upgradation, issues of delayed payments. Okay. GST paid by the MSMEs, yes, it is increasing, good sign. And under the emergency credit line guarantee scheme also, MSMEs have make use of this scheme and they have benefited. Incentive to encourage semiconductor manufacturing in the US and India. See, this is something related to a decision taken in the United States of America. So, during the COVID-19, we have experienced the crisis in the semiconductor sector. So, as a result, there was a severe shortage of automobiles. Okay, we have experienced it. So, for that, US has brought an act. So, that is the Semiconductor and Science Act, and for that USA is giving some benefits. So, survey is also asking us to have a separate act which provides the benefits to the semiconductors, and apart from that, survey is also giving information related to the existing benefits that the semiconductor sector is having. So, first one is setting up of semiconductor fabrication units in India. So, financial support 50% of firms capex and R&D support, setting up of display fabs 50% of firms in capex, 2.5% of scheme outlay, and setting up of compound semiconductor and silicon photonics, they are giving some benefits. So, these we are already giving, but United States of America has come up with a specific legislation. So, survey is also suggesting us to have such a specific legislation. And apart from this, there is another important scheme called Design Linked Incentive Scheme, DLI. Apart from Production Linked Incentive, there is another scheme called DLI. What is this? Government of India has also announced a Design Linked Incentive Scheme. The scheme's objective include the nurturing and facilitation of domestic companies of semiconductor design, achieving significant indigenization of semiconductor products and IP deployed across the country. So, it is related to intellectual property and new designs and indigenous designs. For that, we are giving some incentives, design linked incentive scheme. So, this is something related to the coal production in India, they have given. Strong growth in pharmaceutical exports, you can see something like $19 billion and attracting of high inflows, FDI inflows into pharmaceutical sector, and there are some 3 PLI schemes to boost manufacturing capacity of pharmaceutical sector. So, first one is for pharmaceuticals, there is a PLI, for medical devices there is a PLI, and for critical active pharma ingredients there is a PLI. Just remember these 3, don't remember all these things, it's not required. Okay. So, the promotion from the government side is in 3 different aspects of the pharmaceutical sector: pharmaceutical, medical device and the critical active pharma ingredient or raw material. Okay. So, this is a raw material and this is a pharmacy and this is a medical devices. Okay. FAME India, okay, faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. So for that we are having a FAME 1 and FAME 2, that is a phase 1 and phase 2. So we are giving some benefits, we are giving some incentive for the manufacturing and also for installing the charging stations. As a result, the number of electric vehicles in the country is increasing. Okay, so this is about the incentive for the FAME scheme. Production linked incentive for batteries, okay, advanced chemistry cells, because these batteries are very important for promotion of the renewable energy, because you have to store it, and also to promote electric vehicles also this battery technology is important. And for that advanced chemistry cells we are giving some production linked incentives. So if you start increasing more production with the new technology, you will get incentivized. And for auto components also there is a PLI. Just remember, these are comes under Ministry of Heavy Industries, all these production linked incentive schemes, and here this is comes under Department of Pharmaceuticals. Okay, just note down the ministries also. So these are the various subsectors under Make in India 2.4. So we wanted to promote all these sectors, so we are giving incentives in one or other way. So medical devices, drones, robotics, EV components, agrochemicals, agri-produce, textile, toys, sporting goods, steel, auto components. Okay. India and Industry 4.0. So according to the economic survey, the advent of fourth industrial revolution or 4.0 has begun. It's already begun. That is what survey is saying. So this transformation integrates new technologies that you are all aware, that technologies like cloud computing, Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence into manufacturing process, leading to efficiency. So these technologies now we must bring it into the production process, so that it can bring efficiency. India has made significant strides in internet penetration, which is one of the key requisite of Industry 4.0. So what is the key requisite for Industry 4.0? That is internet penetration, that we have already achieved, and the push towards self-reliance in semiconductor technology. Now we are moving towards the self-reliance in the semiconductor. So already penetrated internet and promotion of self-reliance in semiconductor is a fertile ground for successful implementation of Industry 4.0. So we are in that process. The government is cognizant of the importance of Industry 4.0, and further they have started some initiative, that is SAMARTH, Smart Advanced Manufacturing and Rapid Transformation Hub, and another one is Udyog Bharat 4.0 under Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, which aims to encourage the technological solution to the Indian manufacturing units through awareness program and demonstration. Just remember these things, Udyog Bharat 4 and SAMARTH. Yeah, so this is something related to the manufacturing sector. Just remember that FDI and FDI related promotion, and also Industry 4.0 and promotion of PLIs in various sectors, and this with a special reference to MSMEs and the problems and the schemes that are related to the MSMEs. Now services sector. Yeah, India services sector, because services sector is very important for India, because not only during the COVID-19 time, because in normal course of economic activity also this is a strength of India, because it contributes a lot to the GDP and also to the exports. Okay, so normally we need to import lot of things, and that deficit get balanced by the services exports. Okay, so services is a technology driven, and also this services is helping us to improve the performance of the other sectors also. Okay, by bringing new practices, even administration, even whatever the IoT, the fourth industrial revolution that we are talking about, it's all about technology. Okay, so India's service sector witnessed a swift rebound in financial year 22, driven by growth in the contact intensive sector. So as the growth in contact intensive sector has grown, the services sector is also growing, and during the COVID-19, when majority of the people goes for contact less sector, then also the services sector has grown. But in the services sector, there are various services. One is this IT computer services, and another one is like tourism, hospitality. So this tourism, hospitality and other sector has started gaining once we are started moving out, because we are vaccinated, economic activity is out, there is no problem of COVID-19 pandemic, and lot of incentives given to this. So as a result, both services in IT, financial and also the other services has started growing. So pent up demand increase, ease of mobility restrictions and near universal vaccination that help us to increase the services sector. India has been a major player in services trade, being among the top 10 service exporting countries in the 2021, having increased its share in the world commercial service export from 3% to 4%. So in the overall world's commercial service exports, India's share was 3%, now it is 4%. India's services exports have remained resilient during the COVID-19 pandemic amid current geopolitical uncertainties driven by higher demand for digital support. So though there is an uncertainty, but support for the digital support, demand for the digital support is increasing. That is the reason why still the service sector is growing. Yeah. GVA in services sector year on year growth, okay, Q1, Q2 they have given in absolute number and also as a percentage, positive trend. Somewhere here in negative, okay, in 2020-21 Q1, that is the pandemic, but otherwise we are in positive. PMI services remained an expansionary zone. So this PMI, it's published by IHS market. For that 50 is a benchmark line. Every month you will get. If it is above 50 means that shows that this particular sector is expanding. If it is below 50, it shows that the particular sector is contracting. And except this second COVID, okay, in remain and here in Omicron there is a one particular month, but otherwise it is in positive. Normally this value, if you read it in the newspaper, 52, 53, 54, that is how. So if it is above 50 means it shows that the sector is expanding, published by IHS market, PMI services. Bank credit to the services sector and year on year growth, you can see increasing, okay. So that means services sector want to take more credit and they are performing well. Net service receipts, net service exports, service imports. I said already we are in, we are doing more services exports. That is the strength of India. That doesn't mean that we are not importing the services. This is service exports, this is service imports. As a net, this is a net. So we are in the positive. So we are attracting more foreign exchange in export of services. Foreign direct investments in the services. So when it comes to the FDI in the services, so we are already seen in the last chapter, like in services, we are receiving high amount of FDIs. So that IT and computer services is first, after that other services. Now to ensure the liberalization of investment in various industries, the government has permitted 100% foreign participation in telecommunication. Okay, last year they have announced in the telecommunication, government of India has announced 100% FDI. Government of India has announced 100% FDI, including all services and infrastructure providers through the automatic route. And even in insurance sector also, FDI ceiling has increased from 49 to 74%. So FDI in insurance increased from 49 to 74 under automatic route. Further, the government of India allowed 20% foreign investment in LIC under the automatic route. LIC under the automatic route. Initiatives in the insurance sector by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority India. So IRDA has taken up some initiatives so that the insurance sector will grow, because already we discussed by 2032 India poised to become the 6th largest insurance market in the world. It is very essential. The market for the insurance is very high in India because the number of population is very high, and insurance sector is essential because it provides the credit deeds to the long term projects in India, which is essential for India. So for that it has taken up some measures. You can see easy entry into the insurance sector. For that, single window clearances system they have started, quick launch of insurance products. So insurance can now launch all health and general insurance products as well as majority of life insurance products without seeking prior approval from the IRDAI. Okay, so that means they can launch their own new products. And ease of doing business, yes, we have taken up all these ease of doing business activities and providing further impetus to the industry, so more flexibility to the regulated entities in the area of operational and business decisions and addressing the dynamic needs of the industry. So IRDAI has facilitated various measures as per the evolving needs of the tech sector, and also increasing technology driven solutions or usage of technology by the individual is helping to access the insurance products easily. So one technology enabled concepts and the digitization in India, ease of doing business and quick launch of services, easy entry into the insurance sector, enhancing FDI limits, these are all will help the insurance sector to grow in India apart from having demand also. Okay, so this is very important. Just remember about some points related to insurance. Okay, hotel occupancy rate near pre-pandemic level and improvement in average daily rate and revenue per available room. So if you see the hotel occupancy rate, we are reached the pre-pandemic level, that is average in 2019 level. This is the hotel occupancy ratio. This shows that the hospitality tourism sector is again back on track. Okay, and improvement in average daily rate and revenue per available room, yes, that is also increasing. That means because this hospitality, hotel tourism, this industry is very important because it provides lot of jobs. The problem in whole services sector is services sector contribute much to the economy, but their level of creation of employment is low. But whereas in the services, this particular sector, it creates lot of employment. So revival of this particular sector is very important. And there is another sector called MICE, meetings, incentives, conference and exhibition. So this MICE events also made comeback, fueling the demand for hotels. Okay, just remember. Foreign tourist arrivals, though we have not reached the average level, but still it is in the process of increasing. Okay, so arrival of the foreign tourists, it is a monthly data. Making India an attractive tourist destination. So to make India an attractive tourist destination, we have taken up various initiatives. Here they have given schemes like Nidhi, Sathi, RCS Udaan, LG, SCA, TSS. Just read it. Okay. So this is the national integrated database of the hospitality industry. This is to system for assessment, awareness and training of hospitality industry, because you need to train them, because in the post COVID-19 scenario, you must instill the confidence among the staff and guests in the hospitality sector so that they are safe and hygiene. For that we wanted to give some training. And RCS Udaan 3, you can understand regional connectivity through airways, okay, and this is something related to the loan guarantee scheme for the COVID affected tourism and services sector to revive it. Okay, this is credit, this is air connectivity, this is something awareness and training, this is something a national database. Geographical distribution of IT BPM exports. IT BPM exports are more to the United States of America. Segment wise, if you break up, IT BPS services is very high. Okay. Yeah. So the major growth drivers in the IT BPM industry, that was mentioned it in box number 4 of 10th chapter. See, if you see increasing the penetration of digital technology. So definitely digital technology has penetrated into India. Okay. And made in India, digital first solution for the world. And yes, definitely Indian IT sector is providing solutions to the world. So that is the strength of Indian IT sector. So digital technology has penetrated and made in India, digital first solution for the world. Next, margin defense through operational excellence. So even if something happen, in the world economy or especially in this technology sector, with our own operational practices, with our own operational excellence, we are able to create a defense against those challenges. Okay, India is a digital talent nation. We are all aware, and lot of Indians going abroad and even working there, leading in hybrid work model. That means we can work in anywhere. We can work from home, we can work from office, we can work from anywhere. So these are the strengths that we have. Okay, that is why there is a lot of scope for increasing IT BPM industry in India. So hybrid model, talented and margin, we can create the difference, and also the penetration of the digital technology, and also the solutions that we are already giving to the world. Next, e-commerce. Yes, survey mentioned about the e-commerce. E-commerce is an important thing. Expansion of e-commerce to the newer segments, like now the e-commerce is expanding to the new segments like grocery, fresh to home fruits and vegetables, and general merchandise has contributed to the expansion of the customer base beyond the traditional buyer. So one of the advantage of the e-commerce is the customer base will be widened beyond the traditional buyers. Okay, you can sell it anywhere. Okay, and adaptation of digital solution by MSMEs. So now the MSMEs are adopting these e-commerce practices so that they can purchase the raw material in online, so that they can sell their product in online. That means wider access to the market for selling their product, and even they will have a wider market access to purchase some of the raw materials, so that you can remove the intermediaries, so that we can reduce the intermediaries and we can reduce the cost of production. Otherwise, no, you need to have a dealer at every level, and every dealer takes some margin that will impact the final price of the commodity, that affects the profitability of MSMEs. Okay, so that will increase the revenue and margins. So that is what they have said here. E-commerce platform has not only empowered the small businesses by removing geographical barriers and providing a large customer base, but also allowed them to deal directly with the manufacturers and suppliers, thus reducing the cost of procurement. I think the same point they have written here. Further, there has been a phenomenal geographical expansion with the growth of e-commerce business in rural India, driven by increased smartphone penetration. Now, if you go rural area, yes, there is a lot of smartphone penetration, that and internet adoption and increased purchasing power of the rural consumers. So on the one hand, purchasing power increase, internet penetration and smartphone penetration increased. As a result, there is a huge demand for e-commerce. And apart from this, consumer base widen, supplier base widen, geographical reach got expanded, no middlemen, cost of procurement come down, cost of production come down, margins enhances. So this is the benefit. Okay. Now, government e-marketplace GEM portal. So under this GEM portal, Government of India will procure only through an online platform instead of ordering it separately in an offline, because in that offline mode there is no transparency, there is no accountability, and it lead to lot of misuse of fund, and it lead to quid pro quo. So that is why we wanted to do it in, that means every government department must procure only through the government e-marketplace platform, GEM platform. And in this, what we are doing is in GEM portal. So if you do in the GEM portal, definitely there is a transparency, because everyone knows that what you are ordering, at what price you are purchasing. Second one, when government is doing the procurement through the platform, it can give a special consideration to some of the producers like MSMEs, like some units run by the women, some units run by the tribal, some units run by the SCs. That means if these people are running some enterprises, if they have the preferential access to this platform, then definitely government can purchase those products. It will then these units can have an easy market access. If they want to sell their produce in Amazon, let it be Flipkart, somewhere, they can do it. But government of India is also coming forward, like, I am ready to purchase your products. If you are interested, you can come, so that they can provide the market access to the products of these units run by the marginalized people or small people. So apart from increasing the efficiency and transparency of government procurement, it also creates the market facilities to these people. Okay. So here, if you see the data, so GEM portal attained an annual procurement of 1 lakh crore within financial year 2022. So the level of procurement done by the government is 1 lakh crore. So 160% growth. So GM has taken a host of steps on board product of self-help groups, tribal communities, artisans, weavers, MSMEs. So all these people now they can sell their produce or the production to the government in the GEM portal. So 57% of the tribal business on GM has come through the MSME units, and female entrepreneurs have contributed over 6%. So for everyone, it is creating a platform. Now even e-marketplace www.tribesinIndia.com portal through Tribal Cooperative Marketing Federation, that is TriFed, has been onboarding tribal artisans with their products for online sales, ensuring tribal. So they have created a separate e-market for their tribal products. So www.tribesindia.com. In this portal, you can purchase tribal products, and TriFed will run it. TriFed will make sure that the available tribal products must be sold in an online, so that they can sell their products anywhere. They can sell their products anywhere. Larger audience, even in the international market also, important. Okay. Next, I have already discussed about this, the recent initiative of the launch of ONDC, Open Network Digital Commerce. So it is revolutionizing the whole e-commerce. So now anyone can use this open platform to sell and to purchase. Okay. Account aggregator framework transforming India's financial services. So again, this account aggregator I already mentioned. So if you are a customer in having account in a particular financial institution, you want to transfer your details to another financial institution, so that you want to get a benefit. It can be a person, it can be a company, but this transferring of details from one financial institution in which you have the account to the other financial institution in which you don't have the account is very difficult. So for that we have created an RBI regulated entity. We call it as account aggregator. With the explicit consent of the consumer or customer, they will take the data from this financial institution and they will supply it to the third party, whichever the customer wants, so that they can get the benefits easily. This is related to account aggregators. So far RBI has granted certificate of registration to 6 companies as the account aggregators. Okay. So dematerialization of the document. So we wanted to that means we wanted to digitize lot of things. Okay. So this is something. So in line with the objective of Digital India mission, which seeks to transform India into a digitally empowered nation, National E-Governance Service Limited and an information utility registered with and regulated by the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India under the AS of IBC introduced the digital document execution. So now this digital document execution, that means the companies can execute their documents digitally. So we are moving to the digitization. So this is something related to the services chapter. So the services chapter has dealt about digitization, account aggregation, ONDC, e-marketplace, both in MSMEs and government, and how it is helping, and the IT BPM sector and the positive aspects of IT BPM sector, and also the strength of IT BPM, and it talks about tourism and the revival of tourism, and also special focus on insurance, the reforms you have brought it in the insurance, and the general data related to the services sector. Okay. So this is about industry and services sector. Okay. Just remember some data and whatever the information that is given in the box, just have an idea, and some schemes just remember. Okay, that itself is fine. Okay, thank you.
Amrita IAS Academy.